Marvel Rivals is finally here, and with the release of the game, there's over 30 different playable characters in it. All of these are Marvel characters known and loved by many around the world. So in today's video, I want to take a look at every single Marvel Rivals character that you can get as a Funko Pop. And I figured that the best way to start this video would be by talking about the characters in the game that don't have Funko Pops. As of yet, you never know with Funko, they might make some in the future. Those 4 characters being Cloak and Dagger, Penny Parker, Luna Snow, and the very loved Jeff the Land Shark. All 4 of these I'm pretty surprised they haven't made Funko Pops of. Luna Snow and also Cloak and Dagger, I'm surprised they haven't made Funko Pops for those yet, but at the same time I can understand why, because they're not very big. As for Penny Parker and Jeff the Land Shark, these 2 are very surprising. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and all of the Spider-Verse films are very big and very well known all around the world, loved by many. So I'm very surprised there isn't a Penny Parker Funko Pop yet. I think that would look awesome. And then Jeff the Land Shark, I'm just surprised because with the release of the game, there's been so much support behind Jeff. A lot of people seem to love him a lot. I know he's not very known. A lot of people actually didn't know about him until the game released. I believe he's from the Deadpool franchise. I think he's Gwenpool's pet. I might be wrong about that. But it would be cool to see Jeff get a Funko Pop. I think Funko could do a really good job with that. And Funko, don't disappoint me. We need a Jeff Funko Pop in 2025. And while I was editing this, actually, I found out that I was wrong. There actually is a Jeff Funko Pop, but you see, it's not like a standalone Funko Pop. It's just Jeff like eating Deadpool. So I was right about that. Jeff is a part of the Deadpool like franchise, but I was wrong about the fact that Jeff doesn't have a Funko Pop. Well, I was kind of wrong. There is a Jeff Funko Pop technically. It's Jeff eating Deadpool, but there's no like actual standalone Jeff Funko Pop, which I think is still something that we need. But yeah, those are the 4 characters out of the 30 plus different playable characters in the game as of right now that don't have Funko Pops. I say as of right now because they might release some characters in the future that also don't have Funko Pops. At the time I'm filming this video, there's only 4. The rest of the characters in the game all have Funko Pops. So let's go take a look at those. Starting off with Captain America. Of course, Captain America has a Funko Pop. There's plenty of different Captain America Funko Pops that you can get. I should also mention this, that most of the characters that they're introducing in the Marvel Rivals game are like their own depictions of the different superheroes I'm talking about in today's video. So for example, the Captain America from Marvel Rivals might not have an exact Funko Pop made that looks like that because the depictions in the game are a little bit off, but there is a general Funko Pop made for Captain America, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. But then for some of the skins, they actually do have Funko Pops, which I'll show you in just a second. Like for example, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange also does have a Funko Pop, but there's also a skin for Doctor Strange, which is Sorcerer Supreme, which also does have a Funko Pop as well. So not only is there a Doctor Strange Funko Pop, there's also a Funko Pop of the skin Sorcerer Supreme in Marvel Rivals, which is just so awesome. I love the fact that they're introducing different versions of the characters as skins in the game. I think that's super cool. And then we've got Groot, and I believe there's also a Guardians 3 Groot that has a skin in the game as well, but Groot's Groot. It's the same thing really. Then we've got Hulk. The Hulk in the game looks kind of different than the Hulks that we have as Funko Pops. And there's also this Mighty G-Bomb Hulk skin that's in Marvel Rivals. I do believe this has a Funko Pop, which would be this Bruce Banner and Hulk exclusive to the Marvel Collector Corps many years ago, but I'm not exactly sure if this is the exact one. This is the nearest one that I could find to it, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. I might be wrong about that though, so feel free to correct me in the comments if you know. Then we've got Magneto. Magneto also has plenty of Funko Pops as well, and one specific skin that he has in the game would be Master of Magnetism, which also does have a Funko Pop made for it. Anyways, moving on, we've got Thor. Thor also has a couple Funko Pops. I say a couple, he has a lot of Funko Pops made. Then we've got Venom. Venom in game looks so awesome. I love this so much. There's also a skin for him which is anti-venom, and there's also a cyan blue one that was only released for the beta, I believe. Then we've got Black Panther. Black Panther, I don't believe as of right now has any skins in the game that relate to Funko Pops directly, but I'm sure they'll release some in the future. Then there's Black Widow, and she also has a skin in the game where she's in her white suit from the Black Widow movie. Hela. Hawkeye, and for Hawkeye, I don't know if there's 2 or 1. I like to believe there's only 1. See, like I mentioned earlier, the depiction of many of the superheroes in the game is a little bit off of what they look like normally. So the normal Hawkeye doesn't really look like your typical Hawkeye, but there's also this skin version that looks exactly like the comic Hawkeye, and I believe that's exactly what they're going for. So I'm going to count that either way since there is a version of Hawkeye in the game that does have a Funko Pop. Then we've got Iron Fist, and this one only actually has only 1 Funko Pop. Many of the other characters I'm talking about in today's video, like Iron Man or Hawkeye, have many different Funko Pops made for them, but Iron Fist I believe only has 1 Funko Pop made. And then we've got Iron Man. There's plenty of different versions of Iron Man made as Funko Funko Pops. He also has a skin in the game called the Model 42 Iron Man, and I believe this is literally just Midnight Sun Iron Man. Then we've got Magic, and I believe this only has one or maybe even two Funko Pops made, and they're from the X-Men series. Moon Knight, and there's also a skin in the game of Mr. Knight, which also does have a Funko Pop as well. This one's so sick. Namor, and I don't know, this is like the same thing as the Hawkeye from earlier. The Namor in the game is like their own depiction, kind of. It's not really related to a pop that we have, but there is a skin which is from the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie, and there is a pop for that. Then we've got Psylocke, Scarlet Witch, and there's also a skin in the game from Multiverse of Madness, which also does have a Funko Pop as well. Spider-Man, and Spider-Man has a ton of skins in the game that have different Funko Pops made, those being Spider-Punk, Scarlet Spider, Chasm. There's also a Spider-Man from No Way Home, and there's lots of No Way Home Funko Pops that were made of Spider-Man. One specific one that I actually have in my own collection is this Iron Spider. It's not from No Way Home just like the skin is in Rivals, but it's the same thing. It's Iron Spider with his suit. And even this Bagman Spider-Man also has one, which I think is so sick. Then we've got a really random one, which is Squirrel Girl. Yes, Squirrel Girl does have a Funko Pop. Pretty random, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. And then we've got Star-Lord. There's a common version as well as a Guardians 3 version. Storm, there's Ivory Breeze, and there's also this Mohawk Storm, which I also do believe has a Funko Pop from the X-Men line. I might be wrong about that, but if there's a picture up on the screen, then it means I'm right. And then we've got Punisher, and there's also a really old Punisher where he's camo, and I believe they made a camo Punisher in the game as well as a skin. So there's two different versions of Punisher. Winter Soldier, Bucky, Wolverine. Now there's not exactly one depiction of this super buffed up Wolverine, but there is a skin in the game from Wolverine where he's in the Deadpool movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, and that does have a Funko Pop. They made Wolverine super jacked in this game. I don't know why. I don't know if this is like a comic thing. I'm not super caught up with the Wolverine stuff in the comics. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember Wolverine ever being that big. And then we've got Adam Warlock, and there's also a Guardians 3 Adam Warlock which has a skin in the game, and that also has a Funko Pop. Loki, and there's a couple versions of Loki in the game that are skins that also have Funko Pops as well. Presidential Attire has a Funko Pop, Frost Giant, and also Loki Season 2. Mantis, which is also another pretty random one, I guess, kind of. Not as random as Squirrel Girl for sure though. She also has a skin in the game from Guardians 3 which also has a Funko Pop. And finally we have Rocket Raccoon, which also has a skin in the game from Guardians 3 which also has a Funko Pop as well. Now those are all the characters that they have in the game as of right now that have Funko Pops. They're obviously gonna add more. There also was some leaked ones that all have Funko Pops as well, such as Human Torch, Ultron, Mr. Fantastic, Blade, Invisible Woman, and The Thing. All of these have Funko Pops and they're gonna be coming out in the game according to leaks. But as of right now, those are all the characters in the game that have Funko Pops. Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Are you guys enjoying Rivals so far? Let me know. But yeah, that sums up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.